Up next on Lion TV, DJ Bass has a story on our wrestling team, and Dalton Pinkerton gives us a look at the band.
And me, Jordan Jones, with all your Cersei Bank Classic tournament information. All that and more, Lion TV starts now.
Good morning, Cersei, and welcome back to another episode of Lion TV. I'm Samuel Stubbs.
And I'm Jensen Johnston. We hope everyone had a great week, or great break, Cersei. Now let's start off with some student announcements.
The track team sign-ups will be during the month of December. Please get a packet from the office or Coach McCoy and return it by Christmas break.
Coach Sitzman is looking for a few volunteers to enter stats on the big screen during home games. This would be a great opportunity to get your community service hours, and training will be provided. If you're interested, please contact Coach Sitzman at ksitzman@cerseischools.org.
Tryouts will be held December 5th from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. at the SHS baseball field for any 9th to 12th grade student. Please bring the following: current copy of physical, baseball pants, a glove, and a hat. If you're a catcher and have gear, please bring it. Please notify one of the following coaches if you're interested in attending or for more information. You can contact Coach Gardner, Coach Davis, or Coach Donovan.
The ASVAB will be offered in the library on December 10th. If you missed the initial sign-ups and are interested in taking it, please see Ms. Hughes in the Guidance Center.
ASUBB is hosting another ACT Prep Day on Thursday, December 5th. Interested 11th and 12th grade students can sign up in the counselor's office. The number of students that we will be allowed to bring is unknown at this time.
There is a care closet open on campus that provides any students in need with hygiene products and clothes. This is a private and confidential service. The care closet is open during school by appointment. Please email jmeansct@cerseischools.org for questions about the closet.
Wrestling season just started, and I wonder how the team is doing.
Me too. Let's send it over to DJ Bass, who has some interviews with team members.
Wrestling season has just begun, and the Lions have been working very hard to prepare for the season. With them being four-time state champs, they hope to continue their winning streak.
We're very excited about the upcoming season. We feel like we have great teams, great leadership on the teams. We feel like we can go in on night one and be ready to wrestle. We believe that we can win regional championships and another state championship for our girls, and possibly another state championship for our boys.
How I got into wrestling was I ran track my freshman year and literally got asked by like 3 people, just like, hey, come try it out, join the team. That's kind of how it started.
Wrestling is a sport of growth. You're constantly improving and learning from your mistakes, making sure you know what you can do better in your next match. There are a lot of morals wrestling may teach you what can be used in other aspects of your life.
The most important lesson that wrestling has taught me is obedience and self-discipline, because there's times whenever you're cutting weight and you can't just go out and eat a cheeseburger, and you have to eat healthy even though everyone else is eating, and to keep going even when it's hard in conditioning and in matches.
The girls have worked very hard all off-season with a goal of bringing home another state championship as a repeat of last year. They hope the same for the boys as well.
We really hope to see a lot of growth in the boys side of our program. We've got good leadership in our upperclassmen, but we've got a lot of young guys joining the team that are very athletic, that we hope to see grow quickly in the sport and compete for a regional championship.
There are a lot of little details and techniques that go in learning the moves for wrestling. With lots of practice and dedication, you can achieve many good results.
My go-to in wrestling would probably be a hip toss, just because I tie up with a lot of girls and I'm really strong, so I just like throw them.
We've worked very hard this fall. We've had a lot of conditioning, a lot of days of technical work, been in the weight room quite often. We feel we're more prepared for this season than we have been in a long time.
This season I hope that we repeat another state championship, and that a lot of people who came up short this year hopefully go further and win state.
I hope our Lions can attain the season they have trained so hard for, and hopefully we'll win another state championship. Now we'll send it back to you guys at the news desk.
Thanks, DJ. The Lady Lion wrestlers are looking to 4P as state champions and get their 6th title overall.
3 people were wounded in a shooting at an Arkansas mall on Black Friday, one of the busiest shopping days of the year. Little Rock police called the shooting at Park Plaza an isolated incident rather than an active shooter situation. Chief Heath Helton said in an afternoon news conference that responding officers found 1 wounded person at the scene and 2 others arrived at a hospital later. None of their injuries were considered life-threatening. Little Rock Mayor Frank Scott Jr. said in a statement that 2 people were involved in the shooting, but no arrests were immediately announced.
One of the first major snowstorms this season blanketed parts of New York, Pennsylvania, and Michigan over the weekend. In the midst of hectic post-Thanksgiving travel and discount shopping sprees, forecasters expected very cold temperatures and heavy snow to persist through the beginning of the week and potentially pose danger to travelers in the Great Lakes, Plains, and Midwest regions. The snowstorm led to an emergency declaration in parts of New York and a disaster declaration in Pennsylvania, with officials warning of dangerous conditions for Thanksgiving travelers returning home.
2 Democratic senators are urging the Biden administration to issue a policy directive that could temporarily limit President-elect Donald Trump's ability to deploy U.S. military troops domestically after he takes office. Senators Elizabeth Warren and Richard Blumenthal, both members of the Armed Services Committee, sent a letter dated November 26 to President Joe Biden and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin that urged them to issue a policy directive that would ensure U.S. troops can be used only when local or state authorities ask for federal help or are unable or unwilling to protect the public. It's been really cold recently, Jensen.
It makes me wonder what is happening with our weather here locally.
Well, good thing Caden DeGroat has all of our weather updates for us.
Good morning, Cersei. Hi, I'm Caden DeGroat, and I have your weekly weather updates. Today will be a high of 53, partly cloudy, a low of 15, wind southwest at 12 miles per hour, humidity at 65%, and your sunrise at 7 a.m. on to tonight. Tonight will be a low of 36, partly cloudy, rain at 9%, winds west-northwest at 7 miles per hour, humidity at 90%, and your sunset at 5:54 p.m. onto the almanac. The last 7 days average is high of 73, low of 26. Monthly average of precipitation is 4.91 inches. Month to date is 0.00 inches onto that 5cast. Thursday is sunny with a high of 45, a low of 21, and a 3% chance of rain. Friday is mostly sunny with a high of 43, a low of 28, and a 6%. Saturday is scattered showers with a high of 53, a low of 38, and a 33. Sunday is scattered showers with a high of 56, a low of 46, and a 43. Monday is scattered showers with a high of 59, a low of 42, and a 38% chance of rain. Looks like those storms are rolling in.
They sure are.
Thanks, Caden. Hey, Samuel, do you know what's for lunch?
I do. Today for lunch we'll be having beef and bean chili, classic pepperoni pizza, a classic cheeseburger, fajita marinated chicken, honey mustard chicken wrap, fresh Fuji apple, and some milk.
That sounds absolutely delicious. Be sure to thank our lunch ladies for preparing this amazing food for everyone.
The SHS Band has won so many trophies from their astounding performances in state competition over the years.
Let's send it over to Dalton Pinkerton for more insight on their performance at state.
The band has been progressing towards state competition. Today we will look at the work they have been putting in towards this event. I have gotten the chance to speak with a band member and the director about how they are progressing towards state competition.
We started working on the show with the full band July 22nd. Of course, we were preparing over the summer. Me and Mr. Dotson were preparing to teach the show, but we've been working on the show as a unit since the end of July.
I really like our show this year, and a lot of the band members, they are so nice, and honestly, I get along with all of them.
These talented musicians are working together and practicing to do something special.
Oh, I love the band. Great, good, hard-working kids here in Searcy. Some great, talented musicians. Some kids that are really buying into the things that we're teaching. I feel we're really prepared for state. I think we are going to make a little bit of noise at state. I think we're going to surprise a lot of people and surprise some people on the state level.
Through this year, we've been to, I think, 4 or 5 competitions, including region.
I think it was a very unique show. I think it taught a lot of history. It had a lot of great, points of culture, but it also used a lot of great music by some great composers, and also used some source material like I've been working on the railroad. So it has familiar stuff for young and old in it.
Having a teacher for each instrument and showing them how to use their instrument is one way that the Searcy band runs.
I think that, in particular, I work with the woodwinds and Mr. Dotson works with the brass. I feel both sections made a lot of strides this year. The brass section, very strong players. Now they have very strong sound. And I think the woodwinds have a lot of technical ability to them that really help highlight the group. Kind of sprinkles on top of the ice cream is what I like to say.
The band's goal this year is to make history. Reagan hopes for success to bring home a shiny trophy after the state competition.
At the end of our marching season, we hope to get, of course, a first division at state.
Since going to their state competition, the band made first division at state and placed 7th out of 24 bands. Now back to you at the news desk.
Thanks, Dalton, and congrats to the band for all their amazing and catchy performances.
Now it has me wondering what happened in the sports world.
Let's send it over to Jordan Jones, who has all of our sports updates for us.
Good morning, Searcy High. I hope you had an amazing break, but for now, let's get started with some local sports. The SHS boys and girls basketball teams both have upcoming games in the Searcy Bank Classic tournament. The boys are coming off of a tough loss from Lake Hamilton, which was one of 4 teams last year that made it to the semifinals of the state tournament. The boys would have their tournament run ended, taking home the loss of 49-62 as the final score. They would then go on the road, this time to play against Beebe, where the boys would have a very close game, but would be unable to make a comeback in the fourth quarter, giving the Badgers the win 38-44. The boys also took on Catholic last night, and we will have scores and highlights for you next show. The SHS girls team also had their tournament run ended in a rematch from last year's state tournament against the Greenwood Lady Bulldogs. Searcy would struggle in a close one against the Lady Bulldogs, but the zone defense would get the best of SHS as they weren't able to pick up the win, with the final score being 65-51. They would then travel to Beebe to take on the Lady Badgers in another rematch from last year's state tournament. The Lady Badgers' momentum would overcome the Lady Lions as they continue their 4-game win streak, where the Lady Lions did not get the result they wanted, with the final score being 54-40. The Lady Lions took on Cabot last night as well in their first game of the Bank Classic, and we will have scores and highlights for you next show as well. The next game will be tomorrow night against Lonoke at Lion Arena, so please be sure to come out and support our boys and girls. Moving on to national sports, college football concluded their final week of regular season action before the playoffs and bowl games start. In the SEC, Georgia cemented themselves in the championship game after their exciting, very close 8-overtime ending against Georgia Tech. Nate Frazier would seal the game with an inside rush to close out the win at home 44-42. They will move on to face off against Texas, who had a tough game this past Saturday against their neighbor Texas A&M. Arch Manning would come into the game and score a rushing touchdown with 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter to go up 7-0. A&M would not respond until the third quarter after being down 17-0 to make things a little closer. The Longhorns defense would then put the team on their back as no one would be able to score for the rest of the game, giving the Longhorns the win 17-7. Tensions were high as Ryan Day was looking to lead his Ohio State team at home to take on Michigan in their well-known rivalry game. Michigan came into the game looking to extend their 3-game win streak against the Buckeyes, and they would do so with the help of their kicker Dominic Zaveda, who would kick the field goal to go up 13-10 with 45 seconds remaining in the game. The Buckeyes would then get stopped on offense as Michigan would not only win the game, but would make a statement even after the game, as their win streak extends to 4 games against the Buckeyes. Alabama went into Jordan Hare looking to win the Iron Bowl, as well as bounce back from their previous loss against Oklahoma the week before. Jalen Milroe would be the man to watch during the game, as he not only had 256 passing yards, but 17 carries with 3 touchdowns for himself, as he would lead the Crimson Tide during his game to pick up the win against the Tigers 28-14. That's all the sports updates I have for you today. Have a great rest of your day. Now let's send it back to the news desk.
Thanks, Jordan. Well, that's about all the time I have for you today, Searcy.
But before we go, be sure to check out new Lion Press stories on SearcyLionPress.com, our school's online newspaper. Like this story written by Dixie Miller about the differences between Arkansas and California schools where Mr. Jonas has taught.
Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Searcy High Lion TV.
And follow us on X at Lion TV, Instagram at Searcy Lion TV, and on Facebook at Searcy High Lion TV. Signing off, I'm Samuel Stubbs.
And I'm Jenton Johnson. See you Friday, Searcy.